So here's a close-up of 3 of the 4 scarves that I'm going to show you how to make with Couture Jazz from Premier. This first one was opened up and spread out, and then it was hand chained 1 time. This one was just taken out of the skein of yarn and hand chained once, and it's very long. It could wrap around several times. And then this one was taken out of the skein of yarn and doubled, and then hand chained with a double strand. And then the 4th option I'll show you is how to take this one and then hand chain it a 2nd time. So to get started, I will show you the hand chaining of this one right now. Okay, so you pull from the center of your skein, and you can see here how thick this yarn is, and it's like a knitted strand of yarn. You want to make a slip knot to start, and you don't need a long tail on your slip knot. So to make mine, I do a circle like this, and the strand that comes over to the top I fold to the back, and then I pull that back strand forward and I tighten the knot side. There's a knot side and a slip side, and I want to tighten the knot side. And then I need my loop big enough to put on my hand, and I probably made too small of a loop there, so all I got to do is back up and do that again like that, and just leave a longer end. So I guess you do want like maybe about a 5-inch end there. So now you want it big enough to put on your hand, and all you do is take the working strand and bring it through the loop that's on your hand like this. And then I use this hand a lot to hold the base of the chain that just fell off my hand. So anyway, now I'm going to give this a little bit of height, and I'm going to grab the working strand right here. Then I'm going to move this hand up, and I'm going to pull this through, and I give it a little bit of height like that. I'm doing it slow motion. So I'm creating a loop. Now I'm going to move my hand up to the base of that new loop, grab the working strand again, bring that through, give it some height, move my hand up on this side, grab the working strand like this. See how I'm pulling some out, and then I'm grabbing, I'm pulling, bringing this hand up underneath the new loop, bringing the next new loop up. Just keep grabbing. You got to give it some height when it comes up. It's got to be big enough to cover, to go around your fingers like that. So once you get the hang of this, you can do this really fast. Like you can have this done in a few minutes. And I'm always working with this hand to stabilize the new loops. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit now. And I'll show you how to finish this off. Okay, almost to the end. I don't know I think if you time this, it'd be like 3 minutes. Okay, now I'm down to the very end. I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, at the very end, I like to be very close to the end. Oh, I thought I was at the very end. Let me see. Almost. Okay. Alright, so I like to make a really small chain at the end, and like the last chain won't even be big enough to go around my hand, and I'll just bring this up. I won't even raise it up and give it height, and then the very end I'll bring that through that last loop like this, and then I'll tighten that like this, and then I'll feed this strand back into the scarf like that. Okay, and then if you want, you can take a needle and thread and sew that in, like enclose it in into the bulk of the yarn like this, and all it would take is just to put a little stitch in there, and that would be completely enclosed like that. Or you could take the whole thing at the bottoms on each side and go like this and create a knot, and just make sure that the end of that end is inside that knot. So this would look cute on the bottom of your scarf also. So anyway, now to create the next version of this hand chained Couture Jazz scarf, you take the one chain scarf like this, and then you make a slip knot with this. So you go like this. Oh, I'm doing it too short again. Okay, so you make a slip knot like this. You're going to tighten the knot side, go like this, and then you just bring that already hand chained piece through and just hand chain with that. And this will only be long enough to go once around your neck. I've already tested that out, but it's nice and thick. So at the very end, I'm going to take that last loop and not bring it up, but take the end and bring it over here and bring it through that last loop like this. So then you might want to stretch it a little bit, and then when you put it on, we'll make this end go in. But when you put it on, you could just use one end and bring it through the opposite end. Like right here, you can just, it's real easy to just stick one end through the other. So then you have like a little cowl like that. So that's the second version. Now the third version is to unwind the whole skein of yarn and then fold it in half and then roll it in a ball so it's doubled like this, and then take your double strand of yarn and make a slip knot. Actually with this, because I'm working on the fold side, I could just take this like this and just make a knot and make sure that that loop coming out of the knot is big enough to fit around my hands, and I could start it like that with just one loop like that. Okay, so I could start it like that, and again I'm going to take the working strand and just hand chain a double strand of the yarn. Now this is from manufacturing, and you can take this apart and sew this together with a needle and a thread, or you could just leave it the way it is and maybe trim it up a little bit. It's you always want to test the knot and make sure it's going to stay. I would just trim this on both sides, and this happens all the time. It's just part of manufacturing. We just have to get used to it. Okay, so you just continue with the double strand of the yarn. Okay, so that's how you make the third version of this hand chain scarf. Okay, so this will end up looking like this one right here. So it'll be that long. So it's a nice length for a scarf right here. So when I get done with this, it'll look just like this one. Okay, now the fourth and final one that I want to show you is, I'm just going to use a little piece of this yarn, and I'm just going to take this one apart. These are very easy to take apart and put back together. Okay, so what I did with this one is I opened the tube up and I spread it out like this, kind of like a pair of nylons. And I just kept spreading it out. I put my hands in it, went like this, and I just kept doing it. And actually, you could just do that and wear this as a scarf like that. It'd be kind of cool. But anyway, I fluffed it all out, and then I hand chained it one time. So I made the slip knot like this. And then, I think it's kind of pretty to leave that little fluff at the end. And I just did the hand chaining. This would be a cute headband. Okay, so let me get down to the end. Now I've got a small loop at the very end. I'm going to take this end. I'm just going to bring it through halfway, and then I'm going to take this and bring that through that loop and let that come out like that. Okay, so that's the fourth version of hand chaining Jazz Couture, and I want to thank you for watching, and the links to everything, all this yarn that you saw me use, are listed below. And I really want you to subscribe to our channel. There's the channel is made up of over 600 videos at this point. And when you're subscribed, you'll get an email, or you'll be notified as soon as we're putting up new videos. And I want to thank you for watching.